Right now, at this exact moment, there are 500,000 human beings suspended in the air. And statistically, 1 out of every 3 of them is absolutely convinced they are about to die. Let me be clear, they're not afraid of terrorism. They're not afraid of mechanical failure. They're afraid of their own brain. Their own mind is betraying them. I'm your host, and welcome to Anatomy of Fear. Today, we are going to perform a deep psychological autopsy on one of the most common, yet most misunderstood fears, the fear of flying. And I promise you this, by the end of the next few minutes, you will not only understand why your brain screams danger at 35,000 feet, you will have the specific neurological tools to silence that scream, to hack your own survival instinct. Now, the rational data is undeniable. Your odds of dying in a commercial aviation accident are approximately 1 in 11 million. To put that in perspective, your odds of dying in a car accident are 1 in 5,000. You are statistically 2,000 times more likely to die on your drive to the airport than on the flight itself. So why does the car feel safe and the plane feel terrifying? Because fear doesn't listen to statistics. Fear listens to an older story, a story written into our neural circuitry over 100,000 years of evolution. A story about predators, about falling, about being trapped. Today, we are going to read that story together, line by line, and then we are going to write a new ending. In this exploration, I will reveal to you 3 critical insights. First, the specific evolutionary miscalculation your brain makes the second the wheels leave the ground. Second, the powerful cognitive illusion that transforms normal turbulence into a perceived death sentence. And third, a deceptively simple physiological switch, a breathing pattern that can immediately downgrade panic into mere discomfort. This isn't theory, this is applied neuropsychology. To make this real, let me introduce you to a case study that defies common sense. Meet Leo. Leo is a commercial airline pilot with over 5,000 hours of flight time. In the cockpit, he is the picture of calm competence. He has navigated through severe electrical storms. He has managed actual hydraulic failures. He has executed perfect landings in 40-knot crosswinds. His trained, expert brain knows every system, every procedure, every safety margin. But when Leo books a ticket and sits in the passenger cabin, his heart rate can spike to 140 beats per minute. His palms sweat. His mind races. Here is the profound paradox. The same brain that expertly handles real emergencies in the cockpit is paralyzed by perceived threats in row 23. This is not ignorance. This is something far more fascinating. This is what neurologists call a functional dissociation. His conscious, trained knowledge exists in one neural network. His ancient emotional fear response operates in a completely separate one. And in the passenger seat, the ancient network takes the wheel. And Leo is not an anomaly. Recent industry studies, published just last year, indicate that approximately 40% of all aviation professionals, including pilots, flight engineers, and air traffic controllers, experience significant anxiety when flying as passengers. Let that sink in. The very people who build, maintain, and operate these machines often feel the same gut-wrenching fear as anyone else. This tells us something crucial. Aerophobia is not about a lack of information. It's about a war between 2 different kinds of intelligence inside your skull. Now, here is the foundational insight, the core discovery that changes everything. Modern neuroimaging reveals that your brain does not process air travel as a single coherent experience. Instead, it processes it as 3 distinct and simultaneous survival threats. Threat number 1, the threat of height. This is processed by your reptilian brainstem, your oldest part of your brain. It sees altitude and codes it as fall risk. Threat number 2, the threat of confinement. This is processed by your limbic system, your emotional center. It sees the sealed cabin and codes it as trap, no escape. Threat number 3, the lost agency. of lost control. This is processed by your neocortex, your modern thinking brain. It sees the lack of a steering wheel and codes it as helplessness. These three threat signals from three different brain regions converge into a perfect storm of neurological alarm. But understanding this triple threat is only half the battle. The real key lies in a fourth element, the glue that binds these threats together into overwhelming panic. And that glue is a timing problem inside your head. Let's dissect this, one brain system at a time. This is Act 1, the prehistoric brain in a pressurized cabin. Your amygdala, two small almond-shaped clusters deep in your temporal lobes, are your brain's primary threat detectors. They are fantastic at their job, but their job description was written in the Pleistocene epoch. They are optimized to detect leopards in the grass, not turbulence at cruising altitude. To your amygdala, a sudden drop in altitude triggers the same circuit as slipping from a tree branch. A loud, unfamiliar clunk from the landing gear triggers the same circuit as the roar of a predator. The sealed metal tube of the fuselage triggers the same circuit as a cave with no exit. And crucially, the amygdala has what neurologists call neural privilege. It can activate the body's fight or flight response before the slower, more rational prefrontal cortex even has a chance to analyze the data. A landmark 2024 study from the University of Michigan used high-speed fMRI to track this exact sequence. In individuals with diagnosed aerophobia, the amygdala showed significant activation just 0.3 seconds, 300 milliseconds after a turbulence simulation began. The prefrontal cortex, the part that knows about physics and engineering, didn't show a meaningful response until nearly a full second later. That 0.7 of a second gap is where panic is born. It is the neurological window during which pure, uncorrected fear hijacks your entire system. Your rational mind is literally playing catch-up to your terrified instincts. Act 2. The profound illusion of lost control. In your car, you are the active agent. You control direction with the steering wheel. You control speed with the pedals. You control your personal space. This sense of agency, of direct causation, is psychologically soothing. On an airplane, you surrender all of that. You become passive cargo. This passive state activates a specific brain region called the anterior cingulate cortex, or ACC. The ACC is involved in conflict monitoring, error detection, and, importantly, the processing of uncertainty. It hates not knowing what's happening. It hates not having a button to press. But here is the critical and counterintuitive twist. The safety of modern aviation is built on a principle that is the exact opposite of individual control. It is built on the principle of systemic redundancy. Your car has one brake system. If it fails, you crash. A modern airliner like a Boeing 787 has 4 completely independent hydraulic systems. It has multiple engines, multiple navigation computers, multiple electrical generators. The pilots themselves are part of a redundant system with 2 highly trained individuals cross-checking every action. So the paradox is this. Your feeling of helplessness, your lack of individual control, is actually the very thing that makes flying so incredibly safe. The system is designed so that no single point of failure, including a panicking passenger, can cause a disaster. Your safety does not depend on your control. It depends on the system's built-in backups. Understanding this conceptually is the first step to feeling it emotionally. Act 3. The catastrophic cascade. How a bump becomes a death sentence. The mind under threat does not think in straight lines. It thinks in catastrophic leaps. This is a cognitive distortion known as catastrophic telescopic thinking. Here is how it unfolds in real time. The plane hits a patch of mild turbulence. The initial thought? That was a strong bump. Then the mind immediately and automatically makes the leap. If it was that strong, the wing structure must be under tremendous stress. Leap number 2, Metal fatigues under stress. What if a critical bolt or rivet is at its failure point? Leap number 3, if that fastener fails, it could cause a cascading structural failure. The final terrifying leap, the wing could detach and we will plummet to the ground. In a matter of seconds, the mind has traveled from bump to certain death, skipping every rational checkpoint in between. Groundbreaking 2025 research from MIT's Department of Aeronautics used eye-tracking technology to study this phenomenon. They discovered that passengers with high flight anxiety have a distinctive visual scanning pattern. Instead of looking at stable reference points like the horizon or the cabin interior, their gaze becomes fixated on the wings. More specifically, they subconsciously focus on the tiny, normal flexing and micro vibrations of the wingtips, movements that are completely within design limits and that calm passengers simply don't notice. The anxious brain actively seeks out and latches on to these micro movements, interpreting them as confirming evidence of impending structural failure. Your attention becomes your enemy. It becomes a biased detective, collecting only evidence that supports the fear. Now, we move from diagnosis to prescription. Understanding the mechanism is useless without actionable solutions. So here are 3 counterintuitive but scientifically validated strategies to reclaim your neural real estate. Solution 1, the controlled unease hack. Do not, I repeat, do not try to simply calm down or think positive. That is fighting your biology. Instead, redirect the anxious energy. Before your flight, deliberately and systematically seek out technical information, not dramatic news stories or documentaries about crashes. Search for how do wing slats and flaps create lift? What is the function of spoilers on landing? How does an inertial navigation system work? When you force your brain to engage with mechanical and engineering concepts, you trigger a cognitive shift. You move it out of the emotional limbic fear center and into the analytical problem-solving prefrontal cortex. You are not fighting the fear, you are giving your mind a more complex, more interesting puzzle to solve. Anxiety is energy without a productive outlet. Technical learning gives it that outlet. Solution 2. The 3-2-1 Sensory Reanchoring Rule. This is an emergency protocol for the moment panic strikes during turbulence. It works by forcibly engaging your sensory cortex, which pulls processing power away from your runaway amygdala. Here is the drill. First, identify 3 specific things you can see right now. Not just the cabin, be hyper-specific. I see the blue fabric of the seat in front of me, pattern number 12B. I see the tiny scratch on the plastic window shade. I see the flight attendant's silver service card. Second, identify 2 specific things you can physically feel. I feel the pressure of the seatbelt across my lap. I feel the cool, dry air from the vent above me. Third, take 1 deliberate action. I will now inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, and exhale for a count of 6. This sequence, 3 things you see, 2 things you feel, 1 thing you do, acts as a neural circuit breaker. It interrupts the catastrophic cascade and grounds you, literally, in the present, safe reality. Solution 3. The pilot-passenger identity paradox. This is a cognitive reframing technique. Instead of thinking, I am a vulnerable human trapped in a metal tube, consciously shift to, I am an integral component of this aircraft's safety system. This is not a metaphor, it is physics. Aircraft are carefully loaded and balanced. Your body, seated in your assigned row, is part of the calculated weight and balance equation. Your passive presence contributes to the aircraft's stability. Furthermore, by remaining calm and following procedures, you contribute to the overall safety culture of the cabin. You shift your mental identity from being a passive victim of circumstances to being an active, contributing member of a safe system. This subtle shift in self-perception, from helpless cargo to stabilizing component, can significantly reduce feelings of powerlessness and vulnerability. Let's bring this full circle. The fear of flying is not a personal failing. It is not a sign of weakness. It is, quite literally, the price of having a magnificent, ultra-sensitive survival system. Your brain is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. It is so good at detecting potential threats that it sometimes detects them where they don't exist. It is an alarm system calibrated for a savanna that keeps going off in a skyscraper. Your task is not to smash the alarm. Your task is to learn its language, to understand its triggers, to appreciate its intention to protect you while gently overriding its false positives. So the next time you feel that familiar clutch of panic at 10,000 feet, I want you to pause and recognize the miracle happening inside you. That fear is 100,000 years of successful evolution whispering in your ear. Your job is to lean in, thank it for its vigilance, and then calmly explain that in this specific context, with these specific systems, its services are not required. Because true courage, the only kind that matters, is not the absence of fear. It is the conscious, informed decision to move forward, even when every ancient circuit in your brain is lighting up with warning signs. It is choosing the data of the present over the stories of the past. If this journey into the neuroarchitecture of fear has changed your perspective, then our mission is just beginning. Because this was merely the sky. In our very next episode, we descend into a realm of far greater mystery and far older terror. We are going to explore the deep ocean. 95% of it remains unmapped, unseen by human eyes. What happens when the void is not above you, but below? What primal fears awaken when you face the abyss? This is not just a fear of water. This is thalassophobia, and understanding it will reveal even deeper truths about the human mind. Subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell, because the next dive will take you to places within yourself that few have ever dared to explore. Until then, remember this. Every single time a commercial airliner takes off, it carries more than passengers and cargo. It carries the entire weight of human evolution. And now, you carry the knowledge to be the pilot of your own inherited story. Safe travels.